fans, Chris Hooks here with the NCCU Sports Network as we go one-on-one with senior point guard here at North Carolina Central, Michael Glasker, giving you an opportunity to get to know the senior just a little bit more than just what you see on the courts. Newk, first of all, thanks for joining us today, and if you could, talk about the 2010-11 season and how it's gone in your eyes for the men's basketball program.
The season's been real good, so far. Well, thus far. It's been real good. The first team over 500 since the school has transitioned to Division I, and we've built a lot of unity and developed a lot of chemistry, and I think we set a good stepping stone for next year. My first 2 years playing in different states every day against teams that's ranked in the top 25, and losing some games by 40 and playing some teams that we could have beat, that's ranked, and losing those games by 10 or 11. It's been a lot of ups and downs. So to have this year with some consistent wins and being over 500, it's been a good experience and a great way for me to cap off my career here at Central. Has
there been a game that you remember that it got really bad for you, that you thought, man, this is just awful? Why am I here? What in the world am I doing?
Yeah, there's plenty of those. My first game when we played Newk, my very first game of my college career here. When we played Florida, maybe 3 games after that. Anytime we played Wake Forest. There's a lot of them, honestly. There's a lot of them that come to mind.
Does that make this season that much more enjoyable for you?
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. And then, playing against teams such as Oklahoma and Iowa, the bigger teams, and we've actually competed, it makes me feel like those first 2 years was worth it.
You've said before the Iowa game was one that you'll always remember because you had career-high 17 points, right, hit some big threes. What was it about that game that just you were able to play so well?
I was just prepared. I had been in the gym a lot every day before that. Had a lot of confidence because of the FIU tournament we had right before that. I was scoring, pretty good, and Coach Moulton just, he gave me a lot of confidence. He told me just go out there and play, and he believed in me, so it was easier. I wasn't worried about other stuff. I was just playing basketball.
You've been here during the 2 coaching regimes. Coach Moulton took over. You were his first point guard. What's that been like for you? And you're going to take that away as you were his first point guard, 125 assists last season. You had a pretty good year for a team that won as many games as it had throughout almost the entire transition before last season.
All right. Well, it's been a good experience for me playing under Coach Moulton. He taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about running the offense and about actually being a real point guard. And he really just helped me in my transition to becoming a man, because life out here isn't fair. So he always told me that this basketball was used as a metaphor to real life. And, that was something I took from him, and I'll always remember.
And we look at this season, Oklahoma, we came just that close to pulling off a major upset in college basketball. I know for you and everything else that we've been through, that had to be one of those moments that you're just looking back on, man, that was our moment in the sun, so to speak. Right. Yeah, it was. We had a great opportunity to wake up that next day on ESPN, probably starting it off, but, the ball just ain't bouncing our direction. Like I said, that's how life is. You could do things perfect and stuff still may not go your way. So it was a good experience, and it showed us that we could compete and play with anybody, and it just motivated us throughout that entire season. We had a 43-game road losing streak before December 4th, your first MEAC competition against South Carolina State. Right. We go on the road, we win. Nick Chaston gets a busted lip, stitches, and has a double-double. I think that, in my opinion, and you can tell me what you think, that ball game right there set the tone for the rest of the year. Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of people wanted to see what we was going to do coming into MEAC, and we had a lot of support from our fans, but at the same time we had, doubters and people thinking that we couldn't make this transition. So for us to go up there, and I think South Carolina State was probably ranked maybe 2 or 3 at the time. Yep. Yeah, so for us to get a win at their house, that was big for us, and to show people that we was here to play and to win. 10 wins against MEAC opponents. That had to be pretty gratifying as well to come in. We'd be the 2 seed in the MEAC tournament if we were able to compete. Right. Again, you're being a part of something, building that legacy, building the program here at North Carolina Central.
Yeah, you know, that it's a good experience, like you said, and it's good to show teams that we could compete with them and to show our fans. And, you know, we always felt like we had the talent and the potential to beat anybody and play with anybody, but it's good for people outside of this home, this locker room, to finally see that.
You talk about doubters, and I think you've had your fair share of those throughout your career. I mean, at 5'7", I'm sure a lot of people have underestimated you throughout, back in Newport News, at Woodside High School to now.
Right.
I mean, talk about just the doubters you've had to face and how many people you've proven wrong.
Oh, well, yeah, like you said, my whole life, you know, I've been doubted, been always smaller than everybody. Like, I wasn't the kid that was the same height as people, and then I stopped growing. Like, I was always smaller than everybody. So when I played rec league and I was little, everybody said, you're not going to play high school, you know, you're too small. So when I was in Virginia, we don't have middle school sports. So when you're in 8th grade, you're either going to play JV against 8th, 9th, and 10th graders, or you're just not going to play. So when I was in 8th grade, I started at my high school, and they told me I'd never play varsity. I was small, I couldn't shoot. Then I was in 9th grade, I played JV in the beginning, then I ended up on varsity. We won a state championship. Then my sophomore year, we won a back-to-back state championship. And then before I knew it, you know, it was, you're not going to go to college, you're not going to do this, to, oh, we knew you could do it, and you are evolving just like we thought you was. And, you know, I just keep my circle real tight. I got my family, I got real close friends, and those are the people that I go to and I talk to and I stay close with, because when you're not doing good, nobody's gonna like you, and when you're doing well, everybody's gonna be on your side. So I just stick with my family and the people that I grew up with.
Chris Hook's here going one-on-one with Michael Glasker, senior on the men's basketball team here at North Carolina Central. Mike, if you could, before you got here to North Carolina Central, talk about your recruitment and how you ended up here.
Oh, well, you know, coming from where I'm from, winning those two back-to-back state championships, it was, you know, a good amount of schools coming at me. And when I came on my visit here, it just was such a homely feeling, you know, and the coaches were very friendly, and I walked around the campus and I saw so much potential for growth, and I felt like I could have a great impact here. And the location was good. You know, I didn't really want to stay in Virginia, but I didn't want to go too far away from my home, so this was just the best fit for me.
Well, I think you can safely say you have had an impact here. Right. You and I like to joke a lot about your career here at North Carolina Central, and the fact that you lead NCCU in Division I assists.
Right. With
268 at this point in the interview. You're 4 away from moving up to 8th all-time. That's something you're going to be able to tell your grandkids. I was in the top 10 at North Carolina Central, the top Division I assist man.
Right.
That's got to be something you can hang your hat on.
Oh yeah. It's big for me to, you know, come here, like you said, and go through all the ups and downs for 4 years, but to be in the books and to have a legacy, you know, there's something I could say I'm always going to be a part of this, you know, so that means a lot to me.
Let's talk about Mike off the court. What's your major? What do you want to do?
I'm a business management major, and if I don't play basketball at the college, I'd like to be a sports agent or just something staying around sports.
Where do you see yourself 5-10 years?
Hopefully overseas or in the NBA, but if not, you know, just affecting young kids' lives in some way, whether I'm a sports agent helping people make decisions, or if I could be a recruiter, or maybe I could work out little high school kids that's trying to go to college, just impacting and affecting people's lives in a positive way somehow.
Do you think that, and I'm a firm believer that everybody has a purpose and a place on this earth, and there's a reason for certain things, and you think that maybe with you being 5'7", people doubting you think that's been something for you to learn to have that drive and that passion for life? Because I can certainly see you succeeding anywhere you go because of that drive and that passion you have and that confidence in yourself.
Right, yeah. I definitely feel that is my advantage to life. Like basketball, like I told you, Coach Moulton always told us this was a metaphor for life, and with me being small, and you know, out in the real world, it's kind of just you out there, you know what I mean? And nobody's really going to support you, and when you're down, you're going to be down, and you got to have confidence in yourself to pick yourself back up and keep driving. So me being small, playing sports, and with it just being me and a few people that believed in me, I feel like that was the perfect metaphor for me for life. So no matter what I go through, I feel like I'll be able to overcome it and be triumphant.
Final question. Just what has it been like for you to come to North Carolina Central? And for future students that are probably watching this, future alumni, what can you tell them about North Carolina Central?
Well, it's a great school. It's a very homely feeling. You get to know everybody on campus, the staff. Everyone genuinely cares about you, and it's just a great place to grow up and get a real life experience and help you from your transition from a child to a grown up.
Well, I've certainly enjoyed my time getting the chance to get to know you. You've been a class act. You've been what every student athlete needs to be here at North Carolina Central, both on and off the floor. Mike, and I certainly appreciate your time, and best of luck to you.
All right, I appreciate it.
That's Michael Glasker, senior on the men's basketball team here at North Carolina Central, as we go one-on-one here on the NCCU Sports Network.